Let us resume play. Last week, last week. It's been a while since I did this. Does anybody want to, for a point of DM inspiration, sum up what happened last week? It was a short session, so it shouldn't be too hard. Anybody? Going once? Going twice?
We returned to Mithros with the Ultros.
Okay.
A lot of oses.
I want a little bit more than that.
And unfortunately had to, after surviving the horrendous battle with, and I can't even remember names right now because my brain hurts. With the Dark Dragonlord Esther. Yeah, Dark Dragonlord Esther.
Okay.
He finally slayed his ghost after Kyra made a tremendous sacrifice to expose his weakness to us and allow us to vanquish him. We then set free the souls that were trapped and now seek to find our next step forward. Many of us having great deeds to do in this amount of time while the Ultros is being preparing to get repaired.
Okay. All right. Yeah, take point of DM inspiration. We left off with you guys speaking with Valles, the goddess of wisdom, in the Temple of the Five. So let me activate that and get everybody over there. So time is going to be a little wibbly wobbly as we kind of mix your level up time, downtime, and events that still need to transpire within the city of Mithros. So, if, like my screen, your map does not load properly, give it a second and then try to refresh the scene. I'm not sure if it's how I'm making some of the maps, if I'm not making like a big enough margin for the maps or something, but sometimes they just load in like really weird. Sometimes they just load in perfectly. It's very strange. All right. So, Phil, we ended with you awkwardly embracing Valles, Valles awkwardly embracing you, tears welling at her eyes but not falling down her face. As she sort of moves a shaky, awkward hand and kind of slowly pats your back in a way that people that don't really like to interact with other people do. She sort of pushes away from you a bit, and then looking at the rest of the party, she says, I knew when she left that something like this might happen. And she looks around the room, and she sort of looks past the massive bulk of hamburger that is Bullbug, and makes eye contact with Astraeus. And she has sort of a pained look on her face as she nods to him. And she says, I knew something must be wrong when you called out for her words of healing, and I had to grant them.
He won't be able to meet her gaze. He's looking straight down.
So she's just sort of like swaying a bit, and the people in the temple are murmuring because, you know, this is kind of a big deal for one of the five gods to essentially die. They have died throughout time. There was the lava drinking incident, Pythor just being Pythor, Vulcan trying out new experiment, things went wrong, that kind of thing. There have been times where they have died. But this definitely seems to be hitting a bit harder than normal.
Yeah, Phil kind of just clears throat. What does this mean? Will she be back in time, or is she like
She kind
Grandma?
of smiles and says, I don't know. She had pushed herself very hard. She was already quite diminished before she left. I, in private, tried to dissuade her from joining you. I knew what sort of effect that man would have on her, but she insisted. She said she had an ill feeling about how things were going to go. She said she would forgive herself if she wasn't there with you.
If not for her, we may not be here.
Perhaps. Well, perhaps Esther would have swayed you, as he swayed so many over the years. A silver-tongued viper hiding in the body of a bear. You would not have been the first to have been led astray. I suppose what happened has happened. Now we must focus on the present and what to do next. My husband, the king, will be furious to know that you have lived through this trial, but more than likely will try and spin things to his favor. A meeting with him is unavoidable. It probably would be best to seek him out on your own terms before it appears that he was able to summon you. She kind of looks at all of you. I can make an arrangement to see him immediately if you'd like.
No, we better go. I'd like to see his face when he comes back surprised.
Then I will not let him know that you are coming. I will simply return to the palace and be just as surprised as he is when you pound upon the front doors, demand an audience. It would be best if what has happened to Kira remains between us. And she sort of sweeps her gaze over the priestesses and acolytes within the Temple of the Five, and they all sort of nod their heads in acquiescence.
What should we say if asked?
That she is traveling, as she is prone to do. In a matter of speaking, that is exactly what she is doing. Now, Karina. I have great power. Do you want me to try and bring her back to us?
Yes.
As much as I would like to, my only concern is how much that might drain you.
This young girl risked everything to aid you in a cause she thought was just, a cause that you only have been dragged into because my family can't seem to handle a pair of spoiled brats on our own. I could do nothing for Kira, but perhaps this could set right some of what has gone so terribly wrong. It is no small cost, but I think it will be worth the effort.
I believe she has more fight in her. Give her the opportunity.
All right. Who had Karina's bones?
Astraeus.
Okay. All right. So you pull out her bones. They bring him to the center of the temple.
Yeah, he'll lay them reverently down,
Okay.
offer a blessing and a prayer. And right there. And step
All
aside.
right.
He'll offer, if he can, channel any of his own power to assist her and take the burden off her, he'll be willing to do so.
Okay. That would be very good. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's so weird having like the stat look of a god and like going through and let's see. Okay. Yeah, it is going to take an hour for her to do this. You guys could leave or stay, depending on how your character, I guess, would feel about the whole thing. So is anybody's character planning to leave? No?
No.
Okay. All right, Astraeus, you and the High Priestess, as well as these acolytes, you form sort of a 5-pointed star around the center of the temple, and begin to assist in the prayer of resurrection to try to bring back Karina from the fate that has befallen her. It is a long process. It is a spell far beyond your abilities to cast, and the process is very draining. Even Valles, a living god, does seem a bit tired from the effort. As you close in on the final few moments of the ritual, you can see that there is a great deal of strain in Valles' face and movements. She is whispering quietly, her teeth occasionally clenching, her gaze fixed on the bones before her. You watch as a bluish, blackish shade begins to rise up from the bones. It looks like Karina, but almost sort of cast in negative. And it rises up from the bones, and it looks about the room sorrowfully. Valles smiles through gritted teeth and says, "Child, you were hard to reach, but you can come home now. Your friends wait for you, your family too. There's more to your story, and there's more fight yet to come. These bones are yours, Let us build you a new body. Let us bring you back. And the shade looks down at its bones, and it looks up at her, and you see hope kind of spread across the shade's face. And she begins to kind of bend and arrange her bones a bit. And you see shadows begin to tie the bones together, and muscle begin to form on the bones. At this point, Valles is visibly kind of shaking, as if she is wrestling. Phil, is what it kind of reminds you of. Just every muscle in her body is tight, sweat beading everywhere, hair damp.
I have a quick, weird request about this ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any way, in some mystical manner, that Astraeus could, at the sacrifice of like a permanent constitution point, like aid or boost Karina in her return?
I mean, that's hype. It's hype as hell. Noted that you are willing to make such a sacrifice. As you come to this decision, in your heart, in your mind, in your soul, the shade of Karina suddenly snaps its head back and begins a terrible scream of pain and begins to flicker. The lights in the temple begin to darken, and you hear a terrible laughter begin to echo throughout the temple. And you watch as Karina begins to flicker and fade away. The bones begin to dance and shake and slam themselves against the tiles. Astraeus, you realize that Lutheria is in this place, and that she has been fighting Valles this whole time for control over the spirit of Karina. If Valles were to push any harder, this would be almost a direct battle of wills between her and Lutheria. A battle that more than likely she will lose, since Lutheria's primary domain is death. You could attempt to bolster her, offering up a bit of your own life force to do so. But there's no guarantee it would work.
Without hesitation, he'll do so.
All right. Go ahead and give me a caster check. This is just a raw wisdom check.
Would it be possible for Talus to do the same, as well as his apprentice?
Yeah, what I think is really hype right now, so I'd like to give him my DM inspiration. He's inspiring me.
Okay. Yeah, Talus, this is your apprentice. You can also attempt a caster check. You are a spellcaster. Alright.
What's the caster check?
Oh, it's just a straight wisdom roll. Just a straight wisdom roll.
Okay.
You could use DM inspiration if you would like to.
I will do so.
Okay.
It's D6 for inspiration.
No, inspiration would just be rolling with advantage. As the two of you try to lend your spiritual strength to the goddess of wisdom, that mocking laughter intensifies. Both of you fall to your knees and watch as the shade flickers one last time and vanishes. The laughter echoes one last time through the chamber. And the bones that remain turn to dust. More so than when she saw what had happened, or heard what had happened to her sister, Valles is overwhelmed. She falls to her knees, and the tears that she had kept at bay. Oh,
I was just gonna catch her. She was gonna fall.
oh yeah,
over.
yeah, absolutely. Anime cutscene style. There is a sudden flash of movement, and Reset is there to catch Valles as she begins to fall. The tears she held back earlier pour down from her eyes, and her body racks with sobs. The priestesses of the temple all look haunted by what they have seen, looking at Valles with concern and looking at the dust on the floor that kind of moves between Astraeus' fingers with a sorrow that seems to actually just drain the life from them. Even this very stoic professional bodyguard has to turn away and stare out one of the nearby windows. Several minutes pass, Reset, and you hear a dainty snort and a sniff, and Valles places a firm hand on your shoulder and sort of pushes herself back to her feet and says, "I will return to the palace. Please, waste no time in bringing your news to the king." As she passes you, Talus, she places a hand on your chest, and she looks at you and says, "I am so sorry."
At this point, Dallas is speechless. She really doesn't know what to say or do.
All right. So they head back to the temple. All right. The head priestess, she turns to you and says, "Lord Astraeus, you are welcome to stay here as long as you need to."
He'll nod, but not really say anything. He's literally just like sitting on the floor, just like glassy-eyed, staring off in his face.
Tell us.
Yes.
We must prepare her an Amazonian funeral. Is that something you know how to do?
She will be interred either at the Temple of the Dragons in Astoria or in the necropolis at Tillamook, depending on her father's wishes. She's descended from Ryzen Phobos, Dragonlord, and will be honored as such.
There is a gasp from some of the assembled priestesses when you drop that plot bomb. All right. The city of Mitros waits. Do you go to the king? Do you take care of the burial of Karina first? Do you ignore the king? What is your next move?
As Carl steps outside, I look to Reset, so please say, "I believe it's time to pay the descendant of Esther a visit."
Yeah.
I would say that I don't know that all of us need to go, and I'll kind of look back at Astraeus.
Yeah, Shayas is certainly not going to report to Acasis.
Before we go, we should think about what we're gonna say and how we plan on saying it.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
mean-
Take your time.
Yeah. What do we need to
We
say? Just we
We just report. Yeah, we simply
Yeah.
report that we've retrieved the Ultras, and that we must now find a way to get it to set sail with a live crew.
Not even
We-
going to mention psychopath great grandfather.
I don't
Only
see
if
the
he
need.
asks. Yeah.
Do we, it would be safe to expect some kind of pushback. Do we go
Probably.
and demand the ship be restored and crewed?
Well,
Demand it be restored? I doubt he's gonna want to help us. We need to force him to.
Well, I
Probably
wasn't
with
planning on
some
asking
kind of.
him for help.
yeah. Do we need him to help us?
I mean, it's a big ship. City of Mitros. I mean, I don't see the 6 of us scrubbing its deck for the next 4 months. Repairing it.
We don't need to ask him to recruit crew members.
But, I'm not saying he needs to crew it, but I'm saying we could. He likes flavorful words and looking like he's a big man, and could maybe say something along the lines of, surely you'll aid the settlers and the people of Mitros in seeing it restored, put him in a position where he can't deny it openly.
You know that I would
Well-
trust the people he picks, though.
Yeah, I would just
I mean,
tell
you don't
him
think he would,
the thing.
if you.
I would just tell him our plans and see what he says. And then we'll act on that.
But it's difficult to Don't you think we should decide how we're gonna respond to him? We're not gonna be able to, have a little powwow mid conversation with him.
Well, the best way to hurt him is to make him feel inconsequential.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. Well, this is what we're going to do. Bye.
Yeah, this is our ship. This is what we'll do. And that's it.
And I mean,
You
if,
know, like we're
if the plan is
doing
to
it-
make him inconsequential, why even report to him at all?
Because otherwise he'll make us.
I mean,
And that'll make him feel more powerful if he
Yeah.
summons us.
So we can go and like it'll be like we're telling this really cool story to the people who weren't there.
Real quick, I want to say
it's like a
actually going to help that not all of us are even going to go. So
yeah.
You could always claim we're here to report to Valles, not to him.
do we want to
Oh,
just
I'm
go
mindful.
and just spin our
Yeah,
tail
let's-
then?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Just say it like a bard would? Anastasia,
It would just be
do
the
you think
four of
you could
us.
be up for
But
it? Or just us?
Anastasia wants to stay with Astraeus to comfort him. Could care less what the Blackguard says or thinks or does or.
it's
Alright.
alright, we can handle it.
I'm fine with that. You said, you are quite the performer, if you wouldn't mind doing the talking. Every time I speak with that man, I just lose my temper.
I'll see what
Well,
I can do.
if the gods have ordained that my intelligence is now actually useful for talking, that I can talk.
Yeah, Hypatia can talk.
Alright, I'll follow your lead, Hypatia. I'll stand behind you and look scary.
Good. Although I think I look scary enough.
All right. We have a new city map. I mean, it's the same city map, but we moved it to a new house. So this is the new Mitros landing page. I don't know if you had time to check it out since last week. There we go. You can zoom in. You can zoom in super duper close. So all of these labels that seem kind of tiny, you can zoom in really close and actually read what all of them say, which is
Wow, this is awesome.
which is pretty cool. Yeah. I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna add like a little light to each waypoint. So when it's nighttime on the map, all the little waypoints look like city lights that are kind of like lit up. So that's gonna be pretty hype. All right. So from the Temple of the Five, it is not very far at all to go to the Great Palace. So let me preload that and send you guys over to it. The weather today, 80 degrees Fahrenheit for you Canadians, with clear skies. So, all right, preload. And Anastasia and Astraeus, we can just keep you guys kind of tucked off in the corner so you can still see what's going on, even though you are not there. There we go. Oh no! Anna flew out of the world.
Found a new bug. Okay. Got it.
Nah, it's when the DM and the player
Yeah,
messed with me.
it added it together.
Yeah. Yep, it adds the movement together. There's a lot of weird shit, but it's okay. All right.
Real quick, did each of us take one of those coins to let us speak Draconic?
I'm
like
assuming
where they
there were
handed
six.
out.
There were
Yeah.
6 coins, and there were 6
I would
of you.
like to. That's
so-
super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, an NPC is only going to give you 20% of the value, so you might as well hang on to them. Hey.
I mean, I took it for access to the Necropolis, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of weird that Damon collects them like Chuck E. Cheese tokens, so it's a little weird. I feel like he has an actual skee ball machine hidden in the labyrinth, and it only runs off of those coins, so that's why he takes them. I don't think that's official raw, but maybe. Oh, let me switch out for some throne room music. Go.
Y'all gonna walk right past the dragon this time?
Okay. As the dragon sees you approach, its nostrils flare, and it gets a big grin on its face, and it says, "There's a great sadness that hangs over you, heroes."
And Draconic, I'm gonna say to him, there's a great ugliness coming from your face.
Oh wow! His eyes widen like he's been slapped, like bratty children do when somebody actually fucking stands up to him. And he looks at you. Give me an intimidation with advantage, Talus. You could fuel it with strength or charisma.
Actually, I had 2 more onto the
Okay.
Is that it only rolled with charisma?
So 15? 15? Alright.
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of narrows his eyes and doesn't say anything as you guys walk past him.
Yeah,
you see blue text appear. Icarus will remember this.
I'm gonna just say to Talus and Draconic, it's a cute little horde he's got there. Real cute.
Okay. Give me a second. My My dynamic lighting, like, loaded crooked. I don't know why this keeps happening. Should be good now. Maybe. Alright. Alright. So, yeah, he just watches you guys go. His eyes narrow, his mood, sort of... Gosh, I mean, he's been admonished. There is something, perhaps, deep down in the core of his being that feels ashamed about what he's done. But it's buried very, very deep. Alright, as the four of you approach, you see Royal Tits look down at you with a sour look. And she clings to the king's arm and sits on the edge of his throne. He knocks her aside as he stands up. You'll notice he has a very fancy name tag now that you can't turn off. As he stands up and he moves to the edge of his throne, he says, Chosen of the Oracle, heroes of the Heartland, what is the meaning of this visit? I did not summon you. Wife, did you know that they were coming? And she looks over at him and she just looks fucking drained. But she also looks like one of those ladies that's real good with makeup. So she looks like real put together. You can't tell that she just had an incredible emotional breakdown. She says, this is as great a surprise to me as it is to you, dear husband. He kind of blusters at this, his mouth forming sort of a cat's butthole as he thinks about what he needs to say next. Hypatia, you see somebody over there on his bed. She looks over at you, gives you a sly look. This guy gives you a sly look too.
I'll wink back, but only to one of them. You
Okay.
can decide which one in your fan fiction.
In my fan fiction, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'll do whatever, normal court bow, curtsy.
Okay,
greeting
sure.
thing is
Yeah.
expected.
It's the whole like right hand over the chest so that the fist touches the heart, one knee on the ground, taking a knee, protesting during football kind of pose. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well then, I'll do that, and I'll say my apologies, King. I assumed you would have heard the rumors.
He blusters.
We were met by quite a crowd at the docks. When
Yes.
we returned with the Ultras.
Yeah, I heard. I heard of this. I heard that you have managed to achieve your goal and have claimed the Ultras for yourselves. I am pleased that my information was able to guide you to the ship.
It was of great value, and we thought you would like to hear the story.
Will you not have your bard tell us the story? I see that some of your number are absent. Will the story explain their brave sacrifices?
There were certainly some sacrifices made, and those absent are currently honoring those sacrifices at the Temple of the Five, as is their due. No, we indeed found the ship at that location. Perhaps it found us. All we did was go to the lake, and well, there it appeared. Yes, Anastasia, I know.
So I'm gonna throw up you and the king at the same time because we could do that in Foundry, and then we could make them opposite each other, like in one of the Japanese RPG games where they can't afford character art all the time, so it's just 2D art all the time. Oh, it looks so good! All right, keep going.
Okay. We explored and an empty ship. It was really quite anticlimactic. Ultimately, there were some ghosts that appeared. It seemed they may have, well, they certainly were old-style armor. Perhaps they may have been Dragonlords from ages past, I wouldn't know. And sadly, some of our followers that we have picked up did not make it. But as you see, we didn't really have any trouble. We were able to bring the ship back here through the wisdom and aid of the great nymph that controls the boat. She still seems to be in the mast and is quite helpful, quite charming.
There is a murmur going through the crowds as many speak at having seen the great ship, the Ultros, appear as if out of thin air. And then a great scene of lights and spirits leaving the ship and flying off into the skies and into the seas. The throne room is electrified with gossip and rumor as you continue to spin your tale. Go ahead, and because thanks to the October patch, social skills have been expanded. Give me a history check to see if you do a succinct and educated job of summing up what has happened. Okay. Yeah, you deliver the goods. You deliver the goods. You don't leave anything out. It's your first time using intelligence-based skills in a social situation, so it's all good.
I'm just giving the facts.
Just the facts, Dragnet. Just the facts.
It was not a real exciting thing, you know?
Okay. Damn.
It was kind of easy.
Wow. All right. You can see him flush with anger, probably. His jaw clenches beneath his beard. His muscles tighten beneath his ceremonial ? Armor. He looks to his advisor, and he looks to his wife. And then he says, well, this is excellent news. I am pleased. So pleased, in fact, that the great heroes of the Heartlands, the saviors of the storm, the chosen of the Oracle, have returned to us and will soon set sail to begin their great Odyssey. That I would very much like to celebrate and honor you. We will start with a parade, then a day of festivities. You hear a man clear his voice from the crowd. Looking around, you look to the crowd and you see this dude. His eyes a blazing silver, like his hair and beard. And he says, my king, I too wish to honor these great heroes who continue the legacy of my and your ancestors. Please allow me to open up my estate to you, your wife, the nobility, and of course these great heroes. It is the least I can do as a descendant of the Neurdagon clan. All right, the king, not used to being interrupted. Let's this one go. Maybe this guy's super fucking rich. He is. King Acastus nods to him and says, "You are very kind. I gladly accept your offer on behalf of my wife, the nobles of Mitros, and the heroes of the Heartland. We will all be in attendance."
As an aside, is this a person that I know?
Oh, you know him. That's your uncle.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
Hypatia looks uncomfortable.
Oh, greatest king of Thylea. We did also want to report to you that we have dispatched and taken care of the ghost of your ancestor, Esther Arkelander. So you can rest easy now. Those nightmares should not plague you any longer.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna look over like, oh, that must have been one of the ghosts.
Okay. With Hypatia's extra salt burn there, go ahead and give me performance. I'm pretty sure this is performance because you're kind of running the dozens on this man right now. So, or you could use insight because we're broadening the spectrum of social skills, and this, insight definitely is going to hit him where he does not want to be hit. Oof. Oh. Oof. He kind of staggers for a second from what you have said, and then he lets out a low chuckle and says, I assure you, I never spared a moment's breath thinking of that old fool. It's good to know he met his end. And there's a gasp from the crowd, because Esther Arkelander, he's fucking like an MVP. He's like one of the greatest. How could anybody say this? The king is talking shit about Esther Arkelander? Esther Arkelander is one of the greatest heroes of all time. Why would the Chosen fight one of the greatest heroes of all time? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, there's a lot of hushed murmurs going through the crowd.
This Talus is going to unsheath the blade of slaughter and say, "Careful, part of the spirit might still reside in this blade."
Oh, as you hold the blade up, it does seem to in that moment, and I can't turn these settings out because it'll break everybody's computer, absorb the nearby light, drawing it in. Upon seeing the blade, his laughter and his confidence falters. He stares at the blade like a little boy who gets beaten by his father stares at the belt above the mantle. So it's true. And in a rare moment of humility, he looks down at all of you and he nods his head and he says, you have my thanks.
We simply did what we were tasked to do.
Hypatia.
Yeah.
Tell him we have his tax returns.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, we don't get political, okay? So keep your real world stuff out of here, right?
King Acastus paid 750 drachmae last year in taxes, okay? So just back off. Just back off. All right. So he kind of gets his composure, and Valles says, my king, you mentioned a parade. If you wish to have it today. And she kind of motions at the window. The sun does not wait. Helios speeds across the sky. We should hurry. And he says, of course. It's beautiful weather for a parade. Heroes, please, make yourselves at home. I am an expert at throwing rallies and parades. It will be ready within an hour. You will ride on a float and be adored by the people.
I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then, yeah, I'm gonna whisper to, I guess, Phil, and say, the parade will be a good chance. You can let the people know that we are recruiting for the ship. And
I'll
the
say
king
she's
won't
right.
be able to stop you.
I bet many people would be willing to volunteer
I will scream
for
it
the sake of adventure, if nothing else.
as I fly next to the float.
We could
Alright.
just make it a big game and have you contest your skills.
When I walk past the dragon, I make it look like an accident, but I kind of like kick a few of his silver pieces into the water.
Oh,
Like,
dang.
oh shit, no.
Okay. You could feel the hatred coming off of this creature. It didn't like you guys to begin with, but now it despises you. But it does not speak. The admonishment received earlier seems to have haunted it into a certain degree of silence.
Talith will actually stop the great beast and say, I apologize for my earlier comment. It was a bit harsh. It has been a rough day. And I'll present him with 1 platinum piece and put it on his board.
Oh, dang. His eyes widen, and the lights that glow within them brighten, and he seems very confused. All right,
Talith is like Meg again.
iron glow or iron fist at a silk glove. Yeah, well done. All right.
He doesn't know what to feel. Kid's all confused.
He's negging him. It's classic.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the baby dragon. Out of character. In character, I imagine his head on the top of the mantle and above the fireplace in Astoria. Look good there.
Right. I'm gonna send you back to the city real quick so that you can plot your marketing strategy for the parade, I guess. All right. Let's see. Someone had made a really dope map for like the Hangin' with Valles, Hangin' with Valles map, but I have not had a chance to update it yet onto Foundry. So for now, we'll just you can assume that Valles would make time to come and meet with you if you required her presence. Otherwise, you guys would be taken to her wing of the palace.
I would send Skilla with a message for Astraeus and Anastasia, just letting them know what's up.
Ah, okay. Astraeus and Anastasia. By the time you receive the message, there's only about 30 minutes to get to the palace for this parade. Do you... Well, we'll say like 40 minutes, because it's pretty close. Do you plan to attend? Based on the information you've received?
Astraeus will look at Anna and just shake his head and slump his shoulders and say, "If you go, please apologize, but I cannot."
I see no need. And she is a very just stone face. She's basically done with all the sad shit that's happened in like a day and a half. So she's not very interested in going either.
Astraeus will cast Sending to Hypatia and just explain that we are currently indisposed and are unable to attend. Our apologies.
Explained you were. I would respond. We explained you were more tending to our. I don't know. I don't have a good word for it. Crew. Our NPCs. The only word I got.
Our fallen heroes.
Yes.
Followers, if you want to seem larger than charge. Companions, if you want to seem like the kind of boss that goes on undercover boss. So.
Companions, then.
Okay. All right, that works for me. All right, so what is the plan then, folks?
Okay, so
All right.
where is this parade going? Like, what's the route that this parade is going?
It'll go from the palace to the Harp Gate. Is the path it's going to take. It's going to wind down the mountain, through the streets, across the one bridge, blah blah blah, and then end at the Harp Bridge, where the sirens will be encouraged to come out and sing a beautiful song about how great King Acastus is, and also the heroes of the Heartlands, saviors of the storm, etc., etc.
Is it okay if I draw the path?
Yeah, sure.
So are we gonna just outright to just say come to the pier and sign up, or are we gonna make games out of it where we can, maybe hedge some bets on who's gonna try to get some profits there?
I think
The great games are coming up in about 3 or 4 weeks, because time is slippery and we make sure it works for us, kind of deal, in this campaign. But I mean, you're gonna have the best and brightest and greatest and strongest of Thylea on hand eventually.
So for the regular people, I think we can just tell them to sign up and stuff. But for the more qualified, like the navigator, the pilot, or whatever, I think we need to. That's when we do the auditions. So we could use the great games if we want for that.
I mean, we
Yeah,
could do a sign up if you're interested thing, and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
There's a
we
mock
could do
see
that.
that game could suit as well in that.
perhaps we could get a big sheet, and we could paint on it. We need you. Point at them.
We'll have a picture of you, and just pointing at them.
I mean, if you wouldn't mind me being the figurehead, I don't mind doing it.
And
That's
I think
Just
you give
something
off
about
the
the
image.
beard.
Yeah, you give off an image that we're looking for strong,
Okay.
capable
Okay,
people.
I'll pose right now. And Phil kind of he's flexing his muscles and he's pointing really vigorously at everyone. Paint it on a sheet.
Can you paint, Hypatia?
Sure.
If
I don't
we need
know
a,
if I can paint well.
I mean, we need a painter. Loris,
I
know you're good with your hands. I bet you could paint.
I do.
Lorius
I do
tries
have
his
the
best
paint.
to be hopeful, and he kind of smiles at you. It's not 100% convincing. Dude's really sad. He risked his life to save Karina, so her death has kind of destroyed him. But he says, I can try my best. But Hypatia, you were saying?
I have these magic pigments. Maybe you could paint it so that he moves.
Oh, so
Yeah.
he make it so that his eyes fall.
and he's
think,
waving at people and
I think Crash DC, but
oh.
It could be.
Well,
it could be a
that's
good
fine.
idea.
I think it's cool. Like I said, we need some pamphlets.
Yeah.
Drop him
So
from the blimp.
his finger and his eyes follow. Well, we only have 40 minutes. How fast can you paint each of these? Can you minor? Do you have magic to put them onto blank pieces of paper really quick?
I mean, we're
No.
close to the academy. Does the academy have a painter? Have painters?
I mean, Valles might know somebody. We can also ask Valles.
Lorius is just like, I mean, you could just use a booming voice like the king does.
It's true at this time. Spreading the word is word of mouth is one of the fastest way to get news. Or so they may sign. Some people can't read.
Also true.
Ooh, maybe we just save the "we need you" idea for like we could put them on little parchments and spread them throughout the city.
Yeah. Why don't we have like for this parade, we just have one big one for our float, and then once we have time, we spread them throughout the city.
Why wouldn't we use the paints on our main sail to make some sort of a moving, like logo thing, symbol? I can't remember. Flag.
Good idea. You're not here though, and I want to use the paints for this.
I don't even know if that's a legit use of the paints. I just kind of made it up because I don't have anything else to use the paints for.
Magic paints is magic paints.
So you're
Magic
gonna
paints.
use the magic paints to make a giant like fill float, basically?
Yeah,
Because that's
Yeah.
kind of hype.
who's telling people that we need recruits?
Okay.
Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
Uncle Phil needs them.
Oh man, Uncle Phil was also the shredder, so never forget that. Never forget that.
Never forget.
I will.
Phil is shredded.
Yeah, that's true. The conspiracy theory locked in. All right, then that works for me. Gosh. Okay. Then, if you're ready, we will essentially have this parade, wherein the fill float will essentially float above the float that they make for you, and call out that you guys need brave sailors, souls, heroes, sailors. Okay.
Or, heroes.
Yeah,
Sounds
heroes is a better one because they're
Heroes.
not really sailing; they're just moving in the water.
They just rowed a boat.
It's not too complicated.
Well, we don't want. We also don't want to give them the wrong idea.
Do you guys want a few minutes to watch some army recruiting ads? They do a good job of making something super boring and mundane seem exciting. So
I was in the Navy. I've seen it all. All the propaganda. I got it.
All right. Yeah, we'll let Phil deal with it.
Kind of like right before the parade starts, I would try and steal away without anyone noticing. And like kind of sidle up to Valles and be like, so I've been trying to not hide so much, and I like pet my snakes, and but this is big. There's a lot of people. Do you think it would be okay? I don't know if it would be okay.
Oh gosh. Oh wow. That's a heavy question. Oof. All right. Let me see. This is significant. Man, when you ask her this question, you could see her face. It just kind of like is so pained on top of like pain she was already feeling. Because she thinks about the city that she was entrusted with and how someone with your condition is still going to be treated with fear and mistrust, and that you trust her enough to ask her this very, very important question. Wow, gosh. Yeah. So she looks at you, and she looks at all of you, right? All of you, and she says, "As far as I'm concerned, you have nothing to hide. You and your allies are my champions. I stand by you and with you. If you wish to be seen as you are, I will stand right beside you. Let them look and see and know that their queen and their goddess does not just approve, but loves such a hero.
I blush and give her a super awkward hug.
Okay, she gives you a super awkward hug back. So, all right, couple of your snakes get a little kissy. They start kissing on her, and she laughs a little bit and sort of brushes them away. A few get tangled in her incredible hair that uses 14 bottles of conditioner every day. And as you guys detangle yourselves, you hear the great sound of horns being tooted, and you know that the preparations for the parade are nearly complete. This man is really good at throwing a parade, so...
I will make sure to, I'm still going to use my disguise hat, but just to give all of my snakes a little party hat.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh my god.
Because they're happy too.
All right.
Everybody's happy today. It's a celebration.
All right. I'm digging it. I am digging it. Okay. Does anybody else have any final preps before this gets rolled out?
I'll just change into my dancing uniform sort of outfit thing.
Okay. All right. So, floats, such as they were, this ain't no Macy's Day Parade or anything like that, but essentially they have like wheeled platforms decorated with flowers and ornaments and decoration. They are pulled by mighty oxen that are, you know, exquisite specimens that will probably be sacrificed at some point. Because even though the five are very sweet, you know, they do like a good cut of steak, little ox burger. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody loves a barbecue.
Yeah, everybody loves a barbecue. The oxen, I guess, for their part, just kind of deal. They just kind of deal. But yeah, the music shifts from sad and ominous to buoyantly and perhaps obnoxiously joyous. As yeah. All right. Now, I will point out that the float that King Acastus is on is the fanciest. I'm not going to say it's the prettiest. It's a lot of gold. It's a lot of gold. And he and the Royal Tart, you know, are throwing Lepta to the crowd and, you know, soaking in the adoration. There are a couple of floats ahead of your guys' float in case you're Mario Karting this thing in your minds. So
They're not going to be the last float, like fans are? Can we be the last float?
You guys are actually the last float. Again, this is a quick parade that they put together. So it's not the Macy's Day Parade. There's only a few floats, but the idea is that, you know, you guys are on display. Yeah, so you guys come last because for Castus, and Valles can attest to this, he always comes first. He always comes first.
Is our giant? How big can our giant fill be with those pigments?
If you want to use all of the pigments to make the biggest Macy's Day Parade you can, and then, in this you can thank Sony's PlayStation 4 the Spider-Man for this, use science to turn it into a hot air balloon, I will allow it. So you could on the DL suddenly inflate this massive fill balloon that floats buoyantly behind your float.
Oh my gosh, it's a billboard.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. if anybody's got a picture of like a Thor balloon for the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, that would probably be good filler for this, but get posted in the chat. So yeah, they're up front and they think that they're soaking in all the adulation, and then they hear this uproarious like cry of exuberant joy. And the camera, this is like cinematic, right? Because you guys can't see because their float's too far away, but you get the satisfaction of seeing anyways because it's a cutscene. The camera cuts to their two evil, shitty faces, and you watch as they turn, and they see the massive fill balloon floating, and they see all the people losing their shit. And you guys are like throwing flyers, advertising that you need sailors and rowers, aka heroes. For your Odyssey that you're going to go on, and their jaws both like drop open, like fucking goldfish, as they watch this spectacle, and you can see on his face that he wants to float like that.
You can see gay Bart as your That's what it looks like.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Well, I love it. I love it. Yeah. Those of you who planned for this parade, please take a deep inspiration for this fantastic job you've done. This definitely goes a long way towards kind of cementing your fame here at Mitros. And King Acastus is literally in the shadow of your deeds for the duration of the parade. You watch as double red negative signs appear above him and the Royal Tart's heads. As they, every time they look back and their AI registers that they've seen the float, you get another set of double red negative signs above their head. They're not your friends anymore. They're not your
roll
friends.
a 1 on your perception check and still see it.
Yeah. So, yeah, the people are crazed with this thing. Rumor has it that they must have had Vulcan make such a great marvel. And then, I thought he wasn't in the city. And then there are people that are showing the parchment flyers to each other, and they're like, I will be going on an Odyssey. I will be going on an adventure. And then it cuts to your join the army ad, where the dude's like firing like a heavy crossbow at like Geigens, and he's like jumping off the back of a dragon and a parachute pops open, and then you guys know that it's really just going to be him rowing a fucking boat. So, so it's so real. It's so real.
You need to back out.
I know, somebody's got to row the boat. I know. Oh God, it hurts.
Someone's gotta clean up the shit from the birds that poop on the boat. Like,
all right. So, overall, this parade is going really, really well. There are people who have prepared rotten vegetables for this parade. There's always people that prepare rotten vegetables for the parade, and when they see the hideous monstrosity that is Hypatia, with her snakes full on display in the afternoon sun, they ready to throw their rotten fruits and vegetables. And Valles, goddess of wisdom, steps up next to you and puts her arm on your shoulder and stares at the crowd as if to say, I fucking dare you. And you watch as they slowly lower and then drop their rotten fruits and vegetables to the ground, and then scurry away into the crowd like rats.
Maybe I can just shield the death.
That's fair. That's fair.
They're commoners. How hard can they get?
Bullbug is looking up longingly at the float, and you can tell that he too wishes that he had a float. And he says, Phil, now you're almost as big as me.
almost, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
We'll say that it is a great a great feeling to ride upon this float with you and the Chosen in the same city where I was not but a slave. And here I can hear their cheers for my heroic deeds instead of being forced to fight against my will. I know that this is a time where we are all possessed of a great sadness. But I want you to know that what you've done for me and my people, it means everything to me. And then he looks away because he's got some allergies. There's a lot of dust being kicked up by all the the floats and stuff. As you guys approach the bridge that kind of separates the interior of the city, the crowd's no less packed. In fact, word of this incredible float has traveled, and the crowds are packed densely as they watch. The mood of the king continues to sour as the parade continues. All right. On your left, you do pass the bathhouse of Valles, the most prestigious spa in all of Thylea. Lorius looks over at it, his eyes nearly dead with sadness, but a hint of longing as he looks at that fancy bathhouse.
While we are doing this parade, I'm going to be doing an Oresian kind of what they do in Odyssey is they don't mourn the dead, but they celebrate their heroic achievements. And I have a dance for that, so I'll be doing that to kind of so to everyone here it seems like I'm like it's a happy like a parade dance, but it's actually to give honor to those who have passed.
As you pass the Great Gardens, you do see that there is a small band of Amazons. Not Valles' personal guard, but Amazons who live in the city of Mitros. And as the float passes, they all kneel and sort of salute the float as it goes past.
Talus will return the salute.
All right, you guys are coming up on the Heart Bridge at the end of the parade. All right. Reaching the Heart Bridge, King Acastus uses his special bracer of thaumaturgy, and amplifying his voice with the Heart Bridge, he says, a bit grumpily, "There you have it. The heroes of the Heartland, saviors of the storm, chosen of the Oracle. They have completed their fourth task and retrieved the Ultros. Soon they will set sail for the great Odyssey, preordained by Versi the Oracle. It is important to remember that they never would have found the ship if not for the greatest king Mitros has ever had. Me. Tomorrow will be a day of games and festivities. I encourage you, enjoy yourselves, spend money, boost the economy, and remember the great deeds of these heroes." And he just kind of like walks off the float.
It's like the microphone kind of mess up.
Yeah, like yeah. And then Icarus is there, and he and the tart hop onto Icarus's back, and they fly off. All right, you see a big smile on Valles' face. She says, "That's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen." You must have taken all his hot air and put it into that fill balloon.
Should we just kind of let it go? Just cut it loose.
Oh,
Well, I think eventually it will run out of fuel and then fall to the earth. Could be problematic. You work so hard on it. Why not keep it for another parade?
Why don't we put it near the Ultros so they know where to find the ship?
Ooh, that's a good idea. We could tie it to the mast if
Yeah, I would love to see the Ultros again. As if there's time, perhaps I could join you.
Well, it's still midday.
Yeah, it's like 4:16 in the afternoon, but yeah, there's still some daylight. It's summertime. Sun doesn't set till 8 p.m.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you leave the duties of, cleaning up the parade to the people whose jobs it is to do such a thing. And, head on over to the Ultros.
I'm gonna just grab the giant fill balloon and
Just pull it behind you? Okay, like a little kid with a red balloon?
Yep.
Okay. That's fair.
Thankfully I can fly, so it's not like
It's,
hitting people.
It would probably be putting you to the test. It would probably put you to the test. Those balloons are pretty heavy. All right, so let's see.
Well, Valles is here. I wanted to actually ask her quickly. What happened to the plants that were at the Temple of Lutheria? The gardens there.
The plants. They've been moved to the Great Gardens.
Would it be possible to procure some of them to take with us on the Ultros?
Certainly I can arrange for that to happen.
don't want the Anthos to feel so alone.
Trying to restore some camaraderie that the other Dragonlords.
She makes sort of a sad smile, and she says, there's some irony to your plan, actually. There's another who adorns her favored ship with flowers and plants.
Who?
She chuckles. Lutheria. She has no palace or castle that she dwells in, but instead lives upon her pleasure barge that sails throughout the Nether Sea. But being a creature of the wood, she surrounds herself with flora and trees, plants, sprites, so that she can remember whence she came. I just find there to be a sad irony that you are granting the same to your ship. Often I wonder if there was ever a way for us to live in peace. I wonder if ever in her long, hateful life, she had it within her to care about anyone but herself.
If that potential is there, it's very deep. There's nothing but hatred and contempt and an unwillingness to share.
Agreed. So as you arrive, the Goddess of Wisdom has her breath kind of stopped when she sees the ship. And she says, that is a big ship.
I can't see.
If you can't see, just try refreshing. This one has like an animated water map, so it could be kind of fickle, I guess, about loading. It also looks like we dropped some people.
There we go.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
They were reloading.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So she looks around at the ship, and she you can tell that, you know, when people see something that like sends them on a nostalgia trip. She's definitely like in the past right now, looking at the ship.
Can you delete one of me? I tried to remove myself.
Yeah, no problem.
That's so slow. Just make it big.
Okay. There we go. All right. Yeah, she spends, gosh, I don't know, a good 15 minutes or so, just sort of walking the ship, admiring it, lost in her memories. When she gets to the mast where all the shit went down, she does sort of stop and just sort of stare at the space where her sister, I guess, burnt herself out. Taking a deep sigh, she says, well, I understand that you freed the many souls Esther and Lutheria had bound to this vessel. So you will require a crew. Know that I will spare no expense in finding you the bravest, strongest rowers available. Will you require a captain, or are one of you trained in such skills? A navigator? One who understands the star charts?
I'm not, but I mean, I know some people at the academy. I could see if I could get a crash course. But also, it would probably help to have someone that, you know, has spent more than a month studying things.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
I was hoping at this Great Games we might be able to find one.
That is an excellent idea. I also have in my possession a device known as the Antikythera. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It is a device that will allow you to navigate the seas, even as Thylea shifts her stars and Sidon moves his islands. This device can be used to track those changes and ensure that your destination remains true. Unfortunately, it is incomplete. The device was sabotaged, I believe, but it should work at least for the islands closer to land. I am working with my father to restore it to its full capacities. And perhaps we'll have a solution in time. But I will gift it to you before you set sail.
That would be excellent.
Sounds like it would be of great use.
You'll also require a sail, now that you don't have the souls of the damned to ferry you along. This is a great opportunity to make a bold declaration of who you are and what you represent. Know that I will make available my finest sailmakers.
Yes. I would like to see the symbol of the 5 on it.
Yes, I was thinking the same.
She nods her head in thanks, and then says, "Well, will you be staying on your new ship? Do you require rooms at the palace? Will you be staying in town?"
I would like to go to the palace.
You are always welcome.
I have a feeling Astrea will want to bring Karina's remains back to her parents.
Don't know what I'll do, but I need a break.
Agreed. And judging from the condition of this ship, a break you shall have. Even our finest shipwrights would take weeks to repair the ravages of time and neglect that have afflicted this poor creature. And she kind of places a hand on the mast as she says that.
Tal's
Oh.
actually gonna a message for Paratos to come.
Okay. With R2D2-esque squeaks and beeps. Yeah.
And I'm actually going to send him, let's hope it works, to Vulcan with a message.
Okay. Works for me.
And let him know that we have the Ultros and are in.
I mean, Astrea's sended them, right?
I know, but personal touches.
Okay, cool.
If he could offer any assistance in preparing it.
Vulcan, an old-timey guy, he'd probably appreciate getting an actual letter, you know, because people actually send gods letters in this game, because they're not so rude as to send sending spells to them all the time. Just pointing that out.
Hey, when you got the phone number, call the phone number.
But these are old-timey people. These are old-timey people, you know.
He's sending him a drone.
Hey, as a craftsman, he will appreciate the drone more than the sender.
Oh, absolutely. No, I know.
I worked for a guy that printed out his most important emails because he internalized them better if he held them. He said,
Oh my god.
He said, I'm a paper man. I'm a paper man. And now I'm a paper man as I look over at my wall of post-it notes. Then when I have plenty of digital project management tools at my disposal. So I know where these old people are coming from. I know where these old people are coming
serious tactile learning. That's it.
Yeah,
Where some people just-
different brains. Yeah, different brains handle things differently. But it will be appreciated. So Paratos wings away into the sky. A seagull comes by to investigate. He just sort of like bitch slaps it and keeps going because he's also got a lot of feels right now. All right. The
Bill?
queen. Oh, yeah.
Phil's gonna like softly touch the mask and
Mhm.
he's gonna just be like, ask Dianthus. He's gonna be like, Dianthus, do you mind if I tie my giant propaganda balloon mounted temporarily on top of the mast?
You hear
I don't want to offend
an
you.
actual laugh come from the mast. And she says, I am at your command. Do what you see fit.
Alright, if you got a problem with it, let me know. Take it down.
All right. I guess
So-
I'll need to Photoshop this balloon so we could have it over the ship for the rest of the campaign. We're gonna have this super serious airship battle towards the end of the campaign, and we're gonna be dragging this fucking hot air balloon behind us.
It said
It's gonna be amazing.
temporarily.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if everyone is fine with it, I don't want to like, you know.
Oh, no. It reminds me of like, yeah, my kids and I were playing through Spider-Man over the weekend, and we unlocked the animated costume that looks perfectly animated, like you look like you're from a 2D animation, but the game's like hyper realistic, so it's super jarring to have like cartoon Spider-Man in like this super real world. And we insisted on using it as much as we could, so
Oh my God.
every super serious scene of the game, it was like fucking cartoon Spider-Man saying it. It was just like, oh my god.
Oh my god, that's like when you design a character and you make him look completely ridiculous.
Yeah,
and
you go full
disproportional.
Gonzo. Yeah, you go full
Yeah.
Gonzo. Yeah. And it was horrible because, like, you know, people are dying and shit like that, and we're just cracking up because the camera cuts to Spider-Man, and he's being super serious. It's just a cartoon Spider-Man, and it's just worse because everything else is hyper-realistic. That's what I picture with the balloon, with your super badass ship. All right. So, Valles says to you guys, I do ask that you honor the invitation put forth by Neurdagon. He is a powerful and influential citizen of Mitros, and it would look very poorly upon you and your company if you were to decline such an invitation. Especially when my husband already promised the people you would attend.
Can I ask who he is? What is he an ally or potential enemy?
He is a fool who inherited a great fortune from his family line and has been fortunate enough to turn that fortune into more fortunes. I suppose they don't call it currency for nothing. Drachmae attracts more drachmae, as they say.
Is there gonna just tell me there'll be wine? I can't.
Oh, they're. She
These
just kind of
people.
looks at you like, honey, what are you? Where do you think you are? We're not gonna have fucking water. Yeah. She says, do not worry. There will be libations aplenty.
I can't. These people.
Speaking of these people, is he not your uncle?
Yeah.
In a way, does that not make you a descendant of the Dragonlords?
Yeah, I guess. And I mean, they kind of make a big deal about it, but it's always seemed a little silly. You know, like.
So, Hypatia, you think back to when everybody was making jokes about Adonis, because Adonis is who this guy's descended from. So
Yeah.
yeah. And she says, he means well enough, and his money does help the city in times of need. Sometimes he can be influenced to rein in my husband's more aggressive and foolish decisions. But he was side by side with the Order of Sidon when they began to abuse oaths and enslave the Minotaurs.
Yeah, they tried to get me to marry that guy.
Well, take heart. He has not been seen in several days. I don't think he is in Mitros at this time.
Oh, thank God.
You're welcome. And she smiles a little bit. Tomorrow, a day of rest and festivity. The day after, in the evening, will be the great dinner party. So prepare yourselves. It will be, I don't know, your 5th trial of the Dragonlords.
Just drink lots of wine. That's how I handle it.
Oh, trust me, I plan to drink plenty.
Arisian, I
get started
find
now.
myself without my bodyguard. It would be inappropriate for the Queen to walk through the city unattended. Are your services currently available?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
All right. Yeah. So she starts to walk. All right. You guys leave your ship behind for now and head back to the city of Mitros. I mean, you can go back there. You can go back there and look at the ship all you want, because that is. You guys could go to all the unlocked maps whenever you want. It's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask Risette if she would mind taking Philippa 3s back to the palace as well. And then I was gonna ask Glorious and Bullbug if they wanted to attend the bathhouses that Lorius was looking at.
Oh shit! Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Yep.
Phil would also offer the extend the invitation to any of the chosen to come to the bathhouses with him.
I even have a map for the bathhouse. Because there's actually supposed to be some content there, but here we go. I'll make it available to go to. You just drag your mini out. I don't think there's anything in there right now, but if you wanted to check it out, you can. Let's say Mitros. Let's see. Move this in here. Okay, move that in there. Great. This goes here. Mitros is big. There's a lot of DMs that are like, they didn't develop this city enough. I feel like there's a lot going on in the city. I feel like there's a lot going on in the city. Here we go. Configure, make available to all players. There we go. Maybe? I don't know. Yeah. So you should be able to swing by the bathhouse and check it out if you want. It's pretty nice. All right. Okay, yeah, let's all get over there. Woo.
I just
I was just gonna show the stream because the stream's obviously
I'm
gonna be interested in seeing the bathhouse, of course.
Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice little bathhouse.
Yeah, just
We can just drop a token down.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys wanted to, just have a spa day, you certainly could. Just relax. I mean, tomorrow's the day of festivities, so if you wanted to spend your day getting full body massages with the hot rocks and the mud and all that jazz, that's totally a thing you could do.
I can drag Bullbug out, but I can't drag Lorius.
Oh, let me see. NPCs. Glorious.
Hey guys, I think I found a magic carpet. We should grab it before we go.
Or it could just be a carpet. You know?
Well, it's like carpet.
There we go. I'll drag them out for you. Yeah. So it's a real nice place. They got a lot of people working there. It is staffed primarily by nymphs of all 52 nymph genders running the full spectrum there. They are happy to use their elemental abilities to provide incredible magical spa and sauna services. So it is definitely a nice place to go. It is owned technically by Valles, so you guys could enjoy all the benefits here at no cost since she has declared you her champions.
Well, yeah, in that case.
I bet it's like free.
Yeah, they begin to march out the mimosas, and they go to show you the menu. I assume you just slap it out of their hand and just say everything, and they I guess that's what you will do with your day off tomorrow. All right. Does anybody else not spend the day at the bathhouse of Valles? I mean, it's probably a good place to, after all the shit you guys have been through, to just kind of relax and unwind a little bit. I know if some of you have more serious business to it that you want to attend to, or more immediate business, I understand. So,
Talus would want to check out the pet store he missed last time.
oh, fair enough. Oh yeah, because you were hiding. Yeah. He has baby monsters. I'll have to look up the prices of the baby monsters in my notes. But I might not be able to get them to you tonight because they're way back in my notes. But I will get them to you before next session. So
My secret plan is to turn the whole upper deck into a garden and zoo.
oh, nice.
It'll be great for when we fight people.
Yeah, there's that. This is kind of a thing. Get him below deck. I mean, Noah was able to pull it off, right? He has Talus's Ark. All right. Yeah. So, All right. Hypatia, do you fill anybody in on your uncle and the situation that they're about to face, or do you trust their ability to navigate the social circles of the nobility of Mitros?
I mean, I'll tell everybody that they're not as bad as the king, but they're really all about politics and stuff, and it's so boring, you guys. It's so boring. And you have to be polite and smile at everybody, and they always ask you when you're gonna settle down with a nice young man and have children, and it's terrible. It's just terrible.
I hope
Oh,
they
I
don't
know,
ask me that. I wouldn't have an answer.
Hypatia, why
Yeah?
don't I just play a game of 20 squares with you? That'll take 3 hours, and no one would ever talk to you during a game of 20 squares.
I've tried it before.
It's just rude.
I've tried it before.
These
I
are
get yelled at
the kind of
after.
people that interrupt a game of 20 squares.
I get-
If you're younger than them, they're gonna old-splain over you. They're gonna tell you playing the game
Disgusting.
wrong. Yeah. I have to ask for theater of the mind. I'm picturing Hypatia with like the towel, right? But then on her eyes, 2 slices of cucumber, and then on each of her snakes, 2 smaller slices of cucumber on each of the snake's eyes. Is that about where we're at? I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, okay, fantastic.
it's like cucumber sprinkles everywhere.
It's amazing. Okay. Valles does join you guys for a bit. Those of you who think that human females are pretty, it is a difficult thing to witness with her 30 charisma. But Phil, thanks to you not being interested in your own family members, you're immune to these effects. But others, it is her beauty is breathtaking as she kind of strides in. Pretty much in the buff, because it's it's a Greek bathhouse. And when she sees you guys, she waves, unashamed and unabashed, and comes over to join you. Oh man, who brought Karina out? That's just low, guys. Come on now. Gosh, it's really sad. I feel like Lorius was like over here talking to her ghost or something. All right. So Bullbug needs a team of massage experts because he is so big. So they actually had to push a couple tables together so that he could be accommodated.
Is it a team that's at least one person more than the team handling Phil?
Absolutely. Phil, do you request more people so that you could have
Oh
more
yeah,
people?
Phil's got
Okay.
it all going on. He's got like a person for each foot.
Oh,
Person
nice.
For each hand. He's
All right.
getting as stay drunk as possible. He keeps spilling
All
everywhere.
right. Yeah. Every time you get something, Bullbug immediately demands that he gets +1 of whatever you had. So very quickly, he is more day drunk than you and is bankrupting Valles with the amount of massage specialists he has demanded to care for him. So, Lorius just kind of looks between the two of you and sort of contentedly smiles as he sinks into the warm water and closes his eyes. All right. Valles turns to you, Hypatia, and says, so, I have heard that your parents will be in attendance tomorrow night.
Of course they will. It's not something they would miss. Always need to show off.
Are you going to be okay?
I mean, I lived with them for 16 years. I could do it again. It's fine. I can
Iris,
see him for a night.
she says your mother's name, has declined quite a bit in recent years.
Yeah. And Hypatia looks super like stricken and guilty. And she's like, I'm afraid it was my fault. Because, like, I didn't want to marry Gaius, right? Like, he's a douche. And, like, Mom was so obsessed with it. Like, it was so important. And I never knew why. But I guess she said there's this curse. And it's making her sick. And it's Sidon. And if I had been able to get his favor, that maybe it would have lifted the curse. And I didn't even try.
Well, considering Sidon, considering a freak weather accident killed you, I don't think you'll be getting Sidon's favor anytime soon.
Yeah.
Have you looked into other ways to lift this curse that afflicts your bloodline so?
Damon said there's a witch on the Scorpion.
Ooh, when you say that, her
Isle.
eyes narrow. It just slits when you say that. There's a witch, you say?
That is what Damon said. I was thinking that now that we have the ultras, I could look for her.
Reset should know the way to Scorpion Island. Yeah, perhaps you should make that your first stop. Be careful. She is cunning and more than a little insane.
Got that impression from the vision. Damon's not very talkative, is he?
Oh, in life you could not shut him up. But something happened. Something broke inside of him. I think he saw too much, felt too much. There's limits to even the mightiest mortals. Limits even to the gods, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then she kind of blushes a little and she says, but, I mean, as far as men go, I mean, Gaius is not the worst. I mean, he's very handsome, he's professional, he's very good at Game of 20 Squares. And she kind of, like, blushes even harder.
Yeah, I'm like giving her real major side eye.
Yeah, it's like that Fred, like that type A Fred that's good at everything, but is just into the worst dudes. Just into the worst. Yeah, just into the worst dudes. The worst.
Like
dudes.
all the snakes are giving her side eye too.
Anyways, I have business that I must attend to, but please enjoy whatever amenities you require. And I shall see you tomorrow night. All of you. Nephew, be at peace.
Yes.
Be at peace.
It's hard to find peace at times like these. It's okay.
Alright, so she heads on out.
What did she say? I heard my name.
You hear a loud snoring from Bulbug.
She said that you would know about the Scorpion Island?
Oh, yeah.
Damon, and I would, as she steps away, I would follow her. Damon said that there's a witch there who can maybe lift the curse on my mother.
Oh, You need to get there, then?
Yeah. I thought, once we got the Ultros up and running.
It's kind of close to Odyssey.
I mean, we could stop in there too if you wanted.
I don't really mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I can show you where it is.
That's great.
All right. There's also the island where Folon is from, the famous athlete that you guys saved from turning into a scorpion. Okay. So the day progresses, and the following day comes. Do you make any sort of preparations? Is there any sort of mind theater I need to set for myself for your Greek evening wear? Like, is there
Phil is gonna put
alternate
on
art for
clothes.
Reset that I have not received yet for evening wear Reset? Wait, Phil's gonna put on clothes?
He's gonna put on some clothes.
Oh
Some
shit!
respectable clothes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Wow. All right. Now I know you're serious. Shit. Seeing that you have put on clothes, Bullbug puts on 2 clothes.
It doesn't work like that. Only a double pants is fine, but only one jacket.
No, he's popping 2 collars there, Phil.
Yeah. He looks over at you and says,
Layers of
I
think-
I see you only could afford 1 toga. I guess I could lend you one of mine, but it would be more like a cape or a tent for someone as small as you.
Then I would have somewhere to hide when it gets too fancy.
Oh, he gets scared. He says, is it really going to be that bad?
I mean,
My oath was purchased by a really, really perverted lady once. I had to do all sorts of gross stuff with her at these noble parties. They get pretty crazy after hours.
I'm gonna be honest, I really don't know what to expect. Hypatia just said smile at everybody.
Okay. And he smiles at you, and it is horrifying.
Phil smiles back at him, and it is horrifying.
Yeah. Lorius gets a fear boner. So. All right.
Hypatia, let's get out of here.
All right, fair enough. Heading back to the city of Mitros, you guys suit up and prepare. Let's see.
I don't know. Does Tellus have to go to a blacksmith to get ready?
She would make sure to. Am I still muted? No, I'm not still muted. Yeah.
Okay.
Hypatia would make sure to wear dress with pockets, and then make sure to have a book in a pocket, because you can't make it through these things without a book.
All right. Let me advance the time here, because we're going a whole day. So dusk comes, the sun rises, and then you spend the whole day at the spa, and the sun rises again. Oh, why is the day not advancing? Oh, it is. Okay. Maybe? No, it's still the 6th.
Oh, it says
fuck,
8th.
calendar?
No, it's
says
the
8th.
8th on the main day.
Oh, okay. And then we go to evening time. All right. So, let me
Let me
activate.
just say, Phil is already hammered.
Fair enough. Little pre-drinking before the party. All right.
Hardcore day drinking.
All right. Let's see. Astreus is going to be on Team NPC for this one. So please nobody drag him into the spotlight. He's just going to be listening in. All right, let me get some music for this. We need that sweet harp music. That's what we need. Let's go get that sweet harp music. Yeah, there it is. The good stuff. All right. Okay. And then I'm supposed to preload this. God damn it. I think that they load better if I preload them before we go over to them. All right. Let's see. Nope, mine's all over the place. Let me reload it.
I can't help but smile every time I look at these adjectives.
Yeah, the adjectives is not only one of the greatest things of all time, but also makes Popcorn Initiative possible, which I learned last night because I turned off the adjectives for some monsters, and we were like, shit, what boar is that? Because we had gotten so used to like everything, indomitable boar,
Yeah.
thrifty boar. Yeah, we had no idea like who was who without we've already using it as a crutch. All right. So their estate is hella baller. It is really nice. It is really nice. It is the biggest, nicest house in the whole city of Mitros. Short of, being the actual palace. Some would argue it's actually nicer than the palace. Do you guys
it's okay, I guess.
do you guys arrive early, on time, late, or fashionably late, or rudely late? I guess I could also throw in awkwardly early.
It's up to Hypatia. Probably be following her lead.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I would definitely be fashionably late.
Okay.
Is this supposed to be a dark purple color?
Yeah, there's like a
And now I
dark
had to
area.
reload.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, you should be able to see everything, but yeah, there's kind of darker areas because it's nighttime and they got lanterns lit and all that jazz. Here, I know who could help us out. To the Pokemon's folder.
Aw.
There we go. Lighting up the world.
Honest- Yeah, that's fine. I would say that I don't want to, have her out all the time.
Oh no!
Because- okay.
I'm just bringing her out because I didn't feel like making another light for the scene.
Excellent.
So,
Just making.
yeah. Okay. This is a portable flashlight.
You haven't dragged a torch out of your inventory before, Anna?
I have the light cantrip.
So, when you arrive, you see that the host of the event is present. His name is this is the kind of thing I should have memorized. Hold on. Adventure, where are you? Let's see. You see a loading bar appear. Pro tips appear. Let's see. You guys could throw out pro tips if you have any. Let's see. Some by the queen. Second. Okay. All right. Yeah. This guy's name is. Oh wait, I have all the information right here because I have a little journal note for myself. I'm so smart. Okay. Here we go. Cool. His name is Terran. Neurdagon, and he is the proud descendant of Adonis, one of the OG Dragonlords. And he, some say, inherited the great beauty of his ancestor. He has his lovely wife, Barbara. That's right. Barbara is an ancient Greek name. Yeah, bet you didn't know that. Now you do. Barbara is her name.
Impressive.
Yeah, right?
I mean, I somehow made Phil work, so...
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. All right, and then Hypatia, your father Krios is there, and your mother Iris. And I will pop their art up in just a sec. Let's see. There we go. Oh, here they are. Your father. Oh, that's your mother. Your mother Iris, and your father Krios. They both look very grumpy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Do you want to throw up Hypatia's art?
Oh yeah, sure. Okay.
well, you can change it to the
The grumpy
Oh,
one.
sure. Okay. Let's see. Hey, this is her being very
Ah.
sad. Yeah, there we go.
Oh.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait.
Nope. Oh, it's still the same.
Oh,
Oh,
geez.
no.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, well, whatever.
Okay. Let's see. All right. They don't notice you at first, Hypatia, as you arrive, and servants kind of lead you through the gardens or whatever. Essentially, the estate is so big, and the amount of guests is so big that you could attempt actual stealth checks to go unnoticed for a while, but inevitably you will need to, I guess. Well, you don't. It would be best for your company if you guys did make it a formal appearance. So
I would just kind of bite the bullet and go up to everybody and, make awkward small talk about, hi, how are you? I really do care about what grades your kids made.
Is this, are you full on like on the parades, this snakes out?
No, I probably wouldn't. I do not
okay.
think I would have the balls to do it in front of my parents.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. So Hypatia begins to mingle. Valles stays close to Hypatia. She does notice a massive, spiny silver dragon land, Apache helicopter style, knocking over some tables and servants with his wing buffets, and he drops off the royal tart and King Acastus, greatest king of Thylea, first among the Dragonlords, handsome, strong, and wise. There is a great to-do with the king arriving, and most of the nobles go to greet with him and sort of dote on him and all that jazz.
You know how every party there's always that group of people that's just drinking way too much. It's kind of obnoxious. Phil's gonna find those group of people and just kind of stay with them.
Okay, yeah, this guy's like, hey, you like to drink?
I mean, I drank 3 gallons before coming.
All right, follow me. All right. Fair enough. Hypatia, you do notice your friend is there. They both look over at you, happy to see a friendly face.
I would like kind of embarrassingly smile and wave.
Okay.
Like, this is my house.
Oh, as you wave at him, you hear the judgy sound of air leaving your mother's nostrils. Oh, so this is the sort of man that catches your eyes. I see.
I'm just being nice. You always tell me to be nice.
I tell you to be nice to the people who deserve that kindness. Daughter, it has been a long time. We have received no letters, but we have heard from the bard of your great deeds.
Well, I didn't think you were interested.
Your dad kind of grumbles and says, of course we care. I mean, you are the fruit of our loins. You are the salvation of our bloodline. You are everything that our future holds.
Oh. And that it's super awkward because he's never said anything nice to Hypatia before. She's like, oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
and that is why I must ask, daughter. The bard, she paints a picture of you as sort of a cold spinster. I do not see you finding a husband with this sort of behavior.
I mean, I'm just not. That's not my goal. right
Oh.
now.
I've also heard from the bard stories that you are quite rude to your once fiancé. You've had many opportunities to set right the wrongs that you've done to our family, but instead have added more fuel to the fires of hatred.
It was make a joke. It was not that big of a deal. He did
Yes.
not. He just went off the rails.
Did he now?
Yeah.
I see. Well, there was the parade the other day. This one. And then she nods. Your mom does to your father. Says, "Yes. Well, the evening is early on, but perhaps it would be best to get all of this out in the open. I noticed that you did nothing to hide your condition during the king's parade."
Well, they're my friends, and I like, when one or two snakes kind of sneak out of the illusion, and like I pet them. And look, I certainly didn't, and then like I shut up.
Yes.
Because I was
well,
gonna say something.
that's
Was not gonna
that
be.
foolish bard made it clear in her songs and stories that you are cursed. She even calls you the cursed one. How do you think that looks for our family? And then to lend credence to these fables by just blasé waving them around. Thousands of people witnessing those horrors. And she puts a hand to her mouth. She kind of closes her eyes, like she's wincing in pain. Like you being cursed hurts her so much.
I'm just like gritting my teeth, cause
Hypatia, I just thought that maybe after all this time, you would have started thinking about how your mother feels, is all.
that was a low blow. That was just like
I had thought perhaps that the university and a more formal education, you would understand the duties and obligations that you carry in your bloodline. And
Oh, Hypatia, are these your parents? Hi. Hello.
Oh yeah, the dad, smiles? Question mark? I don't think he's actually capable of smiling. He looks over at you. He says, the Eresian. Yes.
Oh, Hypatia has told us nothing about you, actually. Hello, I'm Reset.
He nods. I have heard the stories.
Oh, well, I haven't heard your story. Will you introduce yourself?
He kind of narrows his eyes. I am Creo. Creo Neurdagon. This is my brother's event. I am here showing my support for him and for our king.
And who's this lovely woman here?
She's 5 feet of menacing terror, and she steps in front of her 6-foot-tall husband, and she says, "I don't need him to introduce me. My name is Iris, and I am the head of this household. Are you the one who's been leading our sweet Hypatia astray, Eresian?"
Oh, I couldn't lead us Hypatia astray.
I see.
Have you seen her in battle?
They kind of look at each other. confused. No.
Oh, you should have seen that time she dropped the fireball and killed everything in the room.
They kind of look at you, Hypatia, like, whoa, this is what we paid college fees for, so that you could become a mass murderer? That's kind of the look on their face.
Yeah, I'm like shaking my head at Reset, like, don't, like,
Yeah.
don't make it worse. I'm so
Chosen of
sorry.
the
They're
Oracle.
so terrible.
You notice that Iris seems to be becoming agitated, and as she does, her eyes begin to turn a almost emerald green as she gets more and more upset.
I wonder how far Hypatia's name has gone across Thylea now.
And I'm like, as I see this start to happening,
yeah.
I look at my dad.
I had a question,
and I'm
Crash.
like,
Is
Yeah.
is it like magically turning green or like literally turning green?
I mean, literally
Glowing?
is magic. Yeah, literally is magically in
Okay,
Dungeons and Dragons land. Yeah.
I want to make
so-
sure. I didn't
yeah.
feel like that wasn't like a. This is how this
Oh,
character's
no.
feeling.
Oh
Okay.
no, like yeah. She's not like one of those people real world that has like color change eyes. I know that's actually a thing. No. These are magically turning green. Yeah, they're
Okay.
very obviously shifting and glowing a bit,
Okay.
as if she has her own sort of magic.
Sorry. Okay. We're good.
and I'm gonna say, like, I think Mom might be having one of her spells again.
Yeah, he kind of panics and he looks at his wife and he's like, yes, dear, please, let's go and get you some fresh air and some wine. We can catch up with our daughter later. And he sort of leads her away, and she kind of narrows her eyes at Reset, and Reset, you swear to God you hear the sound of a rattlesnake. You swear to God you hear the sound of a rattlesnake. All right. So they kind of head off into the crowd.
I'll just say really loudly to Hypatia that I think the Queen wanted to see you. Sorry for intruding in your conversation.
Yes, let's go see the Queen. Right now.
All right. The Queen sits alone. Her bodyguard, who I have not spawned into the scene, is nearby, and she is, she's keeping an eye on the Queen. But the Queen is definitely already like 7 bowls of wine in to her evening. She looks at you guys bleary-eyed as you approach, and smiles sadly.
Perhaps it would be best if Hypatia stayed with you.
Sure. Have you already
I'll-
caught up with your family?
Yeah, I made the rounds. The same conversation with 18 different cousins. Great. And I, like, pull out my book.
She kind of scooches over on the bench and sort of goes to pat it and pats the air next to the bench, and then slowly reorients her hand to be patting the bench.
And I'll just, like, sit down and start reading my book.
Okay. All right, off in the distance in the shadows, this guy, he turns and he looks at his friend and he says, and then he says, yes, not the best time to reconnect. Oh well. And then they sort of dip back into the shadows of the garden. All right. So at this party, you could drink heavily. You could try to socialize with nobles or specific nobles. You could try and eavesdrop. You could just sort of try and survive it. Now that you guys have sort of made a public appearance, you could try and be the life of the party via skills and roleplay. You could regale people with tales of your greatness if you're trying to recruit potential investors / followers.
Where is the room of 20 squares?
There is, because, the weather here never disappoints. The skies are still clear, 57 degrees tonight. It's just lovely. There is an area set up for people to play games of chance. Only the most hardcore, I want to make sure it's a capital H, only the most hardcore Game of 20 Squares players would take such a great partying opportunity to play Game of 20 Squares, where there are so many other things to do, because it is a big investment of time.
Yeah, after I make sure Hypatia is like sitting down next to Valles and stuff, I just very quickly whisper to like the nearest noble and ask them like, where's the nearest 20 Squares table?
Okay, they motion over to a group of people that look like they live for Game of 20 Squares. It looks like they live for Game of 20 Squares.
I go directly to them.
Over there, Orishin, but be warned, the stakes are very high.
Alright. Yeah, I take out my game set and my coin pouch, and I walk directly towards them.
Oh, damn. Okay. All right. As you approach, this unaccompanied commoner, just change that to noble real quick. There we go. He sees you approach, and he says, I know the look in your eyes. You are a woman who craves battle. A battle played on a field of 20 squares.
Cut the chit chat. Let's go.
All right. He takes his arm and he sweeps all the shit off at the table, and then with a flourish, like slams down his board, and the pieces just sort of like pop onto the board, and you're off to the races. It's the most exciting part of the game, is setting it up. 3 hours. 3 hours into oh my god, it's such a long game. I tried, guys. I tried to learn it. I was gonna make a board for us to play, and I was like, this shit takes 3 fucking hours. I'm never gonna play this game.
Skill check.
What are they playing?
Yeah. Yeah. Kingdom Death's a lot more fun. Let me put it that way. Okay. Yeah. Let me grab the macro for it. Let's see. All right. This guy says, I hope you have rich blood, Orishin. I never play for less than 50 drachmae.
50 drachmae? Fine.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be our first game.
Oh man, he's excited. He's excited. He adjusts his swoopy hair, takes some of the oil from it, and rubs it into his beard. All right. According to the creator of this, I just grab this dude and I hit the button, and he automatically plays Game of 20 Squares. Let's field test this shit. All right. You want to go first?
I did.
Okay. You did. All right. 20 Squares
God,
for dummies.
those are low.
All right, here we go. I'm actually going to give this dude a noble stat block, so he's working with slightly better stuff than normal. All right, here we go. Bye-bye.
Wow.
Okay. So we got a point for Reset, but a point for the noble. Another point for the noble. Another point for the noble. Oh, geez. Yeah, he stomped you. All right. So that's an investment of 3 hours of your time. You're now locked in place for 3 hours, as the rest of the party must navigate this party without Reset's guidance. All right. Talus, are you up to anything at this party?
You're going to with our shadow step kind of behind the guest, or by the to like right behind the presenter of the party.
Oh, okay, sure. The Neurdagons. Okay. Lovely Barbara and her handsome husband.
Just tell them their place is quite lovely. Thank you for
Oh.
inviting.
Yeah, they spook a little. They spook a little because they're a little soft. They're a little soft when you kind of come out of the shadows like a wooden ninja. But they get their composure together pretty quick, and they say, Talus. Yes?
Yes, sir.
I have been following your great exploits. The bard paints a beautiful depiction of your heroics. And Barbara says, very deep in her cups, I'm a really big fan of how you chop people's heads off or they try to run away. We even have a little joke, the two of us. Maybe we should Talus someone. We just replace chopping off someone's head with saying Talus, you see.
Clever.
We don't really chop anyone's heads off. All of our servants do an excellent job. And yeah, Terran beams at his wife and says, you seem unaccompanied. Perhaps you could regale us with the true tales of what has happened. Everyone knows that Spoony Bard likes to exaggerate. Perhaps to hear it from you. What really happened?
Which event?
Oh, I am very intrigued by what transpired at Telemark. Did you know that my ancestor is buried there? The beautiful Adonis.
I believe we saw his grave.
Yes. So, the labyrinth. What was it like? Being hunted by the beast known as Graxus.
It was a challenging endeavor.
How did such a beast come to be bound to Xander's tomb? The stories and songs are very vague.
It appeared to be a creature of Sidon. That is all I know.
He seems kind of like he was hoping that there was more to it than that. You could definitely see the two of them were a little disappointed. Like they had fan theories, and they thought that maybe you could answer some of those fan theories. Yeah, so they seem a little disappointed.
There were Minotaur statues with the third eye of the Titan on them that decorated the temple. It's very strange.
But you are said to have found great treasures within. I suppose it makes sense then that Lord Sidon would place an obstacle in your path. And when he says Lord Sidon, you kind of get one of those moments where all of your passive perception checks start to line up. And you realize that there's a lot of Sidon iconography in this house. You know, it's like when you go to like visit somebody and you were like, oh, that's neat. They got a little crucifix there. And then like eventually you're like, they've got Mary holding the baby Jesus, full relief, marble statue, bleeding from the eyes. That's pretty weird. Oh wow, look at that. There's an actual crucified Christ hanging over the dining room table. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like kind of subtle at first, but the longer you're there, you're like, these people worship Sidon. Oh. Yeah. And then he says, what has been the greatest battle that you've faced thus far?
Well, for that I would have to say battling a former beast of Sidon's, a Hydra.
Oh. Yes, I've heard of this. The Stormmaw Hydra, whose divine spark you sacrificed to Valles instead of her sister, Kira. Even though, as the Bard would say, Kira is way cooler.
All of the five have their place.
Well, I think our queen needs all the help she can get these days. It was a very kind thing you did. She is a kind woman, but And he kind of looks over towards the part of the garden where she's sitting with Hypatia on her 14th bowl of wine. She is not strong enough for what might come.
Well, that's simply because you failed to have faith in her.
Oh, wow. The two of them look a little affronted, a little hurt. And then they say, please, one can worship many gods. There is plenty of faith to go around. And she smiles at you in that sort of Stepford Wives kind of way.
Such may be true, but I find it sad when one chooses to follow an entity that shares very little interest in the day-to-day life of one city, when another is willing to give everything for them.
Your words are strong and true, but we approach the end of the Age of Peace. It is a time when strength will matter more than anything else.
Very true. One should be very careful on who they choose to be allies with, and who they make enemies of.
What we need now is a man like Esther Arpalander.
Alice is gonna laugh really, really, really hard at that.
He kind of like cocks his eyebrow and he says, oh, I've heard. I was there when you showed off the weapon.
You weren't there when his cowardly face was saying, "Don't look at me," when he was exposed to what he truly was.
Strong words. Strong words. The man I knew in life, well, I talk like I knew him. The man that my ancestor knew in life.
You said for yourself, the bards can paint pretty pictures.
It's true. It's true. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I've kept you too long, Dennis. I'm sure there are others who would love some of your time, and I have many guests that I must attend to.
I'll bow slightly and excuse me.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of feeling he's fulfilled his obligations. He's gonna just slip away again. He said
Fair
hi.
enough.
He said hi to the person who he needed to. He's just kind of
Back in the shadows.
Don't forget to look under your bed tonight.
No, jeez.
We don't need another one of those.
I hope you don't, because I don't have a map big enough to represent this fucking house. So, all right.
no.
Anastasia, are you up to anything at this party?
It would be impossible not to stand out. So, I think she's just very somberly just talking to people who approach her.
Mm-hmm.
There might be a few moments that they're like, "Hey, why don't you play some music for us?" And then she'll say that she doesn't want to ruin the party because she has no songs.
A lot of people do that thing that normal people who don't have like depression or other chemical imbalances do, where they just kind of roll their eyes like, you could choose to be happy, you're just choosing to be sad to be a bitch. But they're just like, oh, I understand. You have gone through much. And they sort of, give you space.
Yeah. Other than that, I guess if I might be listening for some rumors. That'd be useful stuff. So.
You hear the sound of a refrigerator approaching, and also and you hear nothing else because the refrigerator makes it very easy to make stealth checks. Chandras slides over and says, so you seem especially sad.
Yes.
I understand it is the curse of your people to feel too much. Is this about the girl? the young Amazon in training? Or is there more?
Can I insight him?
Yeah, give me a blind insight check. Go for
Yay!
it. All right.
Alright, blind. Clicked it, there we go.
Man, this guy can't help but be a little creepy. But you hear Phil's judgmental words that if you harshly judge him for being creepy, you are being racist. And he seems legit. He seems legitimate, as he did the night of the Song of Storms. That he wants to know. He wants to know what the hell's going on.
We promised this queen that we wouldn't say anything, right? Was that what happened when we first stopped in?
I mean, I don't think we promised in those words.
You didn't
But-
make
I'm just
like
trying
an
to-
oath.
I'm
Yeah,
just trying to
you're not gonna
remember.
get you're not gonna get struck down or anything.
We
But,
decided it would be a bad idea
yeah.
for that information to get out.
Yeah. Well, then Anastasia will feign. Like, if you want to make a deception check, I will.
Yeah. Give me a blind deception
Oh
check.
man.
You'll
I think
never know.
found
You'll
it.
never know how you did. It'll keep you up at night.
I hate you. I want to know how you did.
All right. So what is the lie you tell? What is the lie you tell?
So yeah, I will mostly put it on being sad about Karena.
Okay.
Someone so young and yeah.
You know who would be great to cheer you up? Kyra. I had hoped to see her here tonight. And he looks around, and as he looks around, Zamrox also looks around. Like almost sort of pantomiming what he's doing. But his is like way more exaggerated, like, oh, huh. Like he even puts his hand up to like shield himself from the sun that's not out, so that he can get a better look. But then I heard that she was traveling again.
She thought it quite important to let the people know.
I also found this during the parade, and he shows you the flyer that has Big Phil on it. Big Phil wants you. That it shows somebody shooting a Gigan with a heavy crossbow, and parachuting off of a dragon and all that. And he says, "I'm not much for rowing, but I would be very interested in applying to join your crew. I grow tired of palace life, and if I may speak plainly to you, he kind of looks over where Hypatia is sitting, reading her book.
Like anger reading.
Yeah. I have found a muse. I wish to follow it.
I am happy for you.
But it will need to be a position for two, because Zamrox will be accompanying me as well. He can row. And Zamrox nods to you. And then he shows you his rowing gesture.
Anastasia's just curious.
He has a single oar maneuver, and he has a double oar maneuver if he's in a rowboat. And then, seeing that you're not impressed, he grabs a stone bench, he lifts it up, and he moves it over. And then he sits at it, and he sits at it, like, saddles it, so it's a canoe, and he shows you the double row. And then he sits on it like it's a bench, and he shows you the single row. And then Chandra's just sort of Vanna Whites him as he does it.
Thank you for bringing some levity.
Well, it seems that Hypatia is having very difficulty eating, so do tell her that I would have said hello, but I understand sometimes solitude is preferred. And I do not jest. When you begin to look for crew, expect to see us.
I might ask you one question.
Oh, certainly.
How did you and this fine friend of yours, Zamrock, meet?
Ah, well.
Seems to follow you like a shadow.
Yes. We were both children in Stygian Rome, and we were actually being forced to fight in a back alley mock arena. You know, get poor kids, make them kill each other. It's hilarious, really. We pulled one of those poison berry maneuvers, where we just refused to fight. We were beaten pretty savagely, and left for dead, and somehow we both lived. We've been friends ever since.
Yeah, that definitely brightens her a little bit up. She thanks him for the story.
All right. They excuse themselves and cut it back into the ground. All right. As they are leaving, you hear a cry of alarm and a scream, like the classic Murder, She Wrote scream where they just found a body. Somebody drops some plates, all that jazz. And the crowd rushes through the gardens to discover that Barbara has been turned to stone. Oh yeah. Painted on Barbara, the stone Barbara, is a green snake. People begin to murmur and look around, and the murmuring begins to increase in intensity. Eyes turn to Iris, Creo, and then to Hypatia.
And that's where we cut, right?
Yeah, we can cut there. That's cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah. So now you're wanted for murder. So that'll be fun.
I literally have the goddess of wisdom as a witness. So
I'm not saying it's not the strongest case, okay? It's not the strongest case. But I do have a courthouse map, just in case.
J'accuse.
I was gonna.
Well, we never got to see what happened
somebody
with
to
Phil in the
stone.
basement with
My
the
nick's
keggers.
Ant is not who I picked.
Oh, okay, yeah. So the credits start rolling.
After credits scene.
Interspersed in the credits will be Philippocles and the bros and gals of Alpha Kega Omega. You never thought in your life that you could drink this much alcohol, and you have been to a Centaurgy Dwargy. But man, there's a lot of alcohol. They are putting it away. There was other art I found when I referenced Greek parties that I could not use because I don't want Red to get banned on Twitch. But that is the party that you find yourself in, Philippocles. And it's like the CJ beam from Grand Theft Auto. It's like, well, here we go again. Kind of deal. Yeah. So, Bullbug, in an attempt to outdrink everyone there, almost has died of alcohol poisoning. He is unable to participate in the Greek dinner part orgy. No, I'm not trying my best. Instead, it just sort of happens on and around him, like he is a giant beanbag chair. You know those $800 Snorlaxes you could buy? It's like that. It's just like he's like a giant beanbag. Lorius is doing okay though. Lorius is doing okay.
We're like painting, stuff to Bullbug.
Oh, poor Bullbug. I'll make him object layer things so that you can actually draw them. Hold on, let me go grab that. So,
I don't want to get red stream in.
Oh, fair. Okay. But yeah, he could not handle it. He is out cold. Anyways, but yeah, everyone else there is having a good time. They wanna hear stories of heroics, that kind of thing. There is a sad moment where somebody not even trying to cause shit, but somebody asks you, how did you feel when that young girl, the Corona, when she stole that Hydra from you? How did that feel, Philippocles? And everybody gets real quiet. Oh, you flipped the table? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. The man falls over and just sort of poops his toga. And everyone just kind of gets real quiet, watching the rage kind of seethe inside you.
Party.
Okay. All right. Would you say that everyone lets out a deep breath, or a held breath, then the partying continues. All right. So, finally, we'll end with Reset. Your match took longer than the discovery of the woman being turned to stone, but you can't back out now, or you'll forfeit, and your rep will go down as a rage quitter. So you have to zone out and not pay attention to the fact that there's a murder investigation happening in the background, and I've got to go get my Jessica Fletcher miniature and put a Greek border around it so that we can do this right next week. But you are gonna be out 50 gold from your shenanigans.
Yeah,
So-
I did that good.
Okay. All right. All right. Good session. We got to try out that popcorn initiative. I hope everybody enjoyed it. That was really fun. And then next week, we'll try to keep Hypatia from going to jail. And we'll just gotta take it from there.
Wait, there was initiative?
No, I was just being facetious.
Well, there were blind rolls.
Yeah, there were blind rolls, and man, they were doozies. Let me tell you. Oh man, they were doozies. All right, sweet. So I can leave this map set as a player accessible map, and then you can kind of just go between your 20 different maps now that you have access to. But yeah, that'll do us for this week. We'll pick this up next week. I know that like you need a long rest to level up, but just be leveled up anyways, because you guys already leveled up, and this next part of the adventure was built around you guys being level 6. So it's just timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. Like, you're still going to, while the ship is being repaired, do all of your downtime stuff to level up, but you're sort of transitioning into those skills during this next part of the adventure. So, all right. Any questions? No? All right, cool. Well, I hope everybody has a great week. It's a busy week for D&D. So tomorrow is Acquisitions Incorporated. That campaign is almost at its conclusion. We're at the save point before the final dungeon. Wednesday is going to be Quest 12 of Hero Quest. It's going to be pretty nuts. Thursday will be more Skull and Shackles. Friday, rest. Saturday, maybe more spooky games. I don't know. My heart's slowly wearing out from the spooky games. And then Sunday, your Mythic Cousins will have their second session. Your Mythic Cousins already had goatling poop thrown in their mouth, so they're ahead of the curve.
I think they had already had an orgy too.
Well, I don't know. Maybe. So, yeah, it's accelerated content. No, but it is fascinating. There shouldn't be any spoilers for your campaign since you guys are so much further ahead. So if you are interested in watching another group, especially of people that you've played D&D with before, maybe some of you even slept with people from the other group. I don't want to call anyone out.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. I heard rumors. That's all. I just heard some rumors. Yeah, you could.
I did watch.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah. And then we talked about it afterwards, and I had a ton of trouble not asking him to look for the baby pig.
Nice.
Aww.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be good to watch. Well, not good, but I think it'll be pretty enjoyable because I did change a lot of the beginning. because a lot of those players had either heard secondhand or watched the actual stream for the first couple of trials, so I had to spice things up a little bit, so they are going to be a little different for their group. Plus, they're using some much more crunchy and brutal rules, so there's different things that we're having to track and keep track of and all that jazz.
My only question is, are they going to encounter the elevator boss?
I can't actually do the elevator trap because it's so infamous now that they all know about it. But I've got I've got something even more fucked up planned.
Oh my god, poor individuals. Right,
Oh.
but they're gonna have a crazy boss fight immediately after.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
And like they will start their battle with 3 players unconscious.
Yeah, it's gonna be real bad. It's gonna be real bad. So
And-
also keep in mind, these guys, when they get a failed death save, they keep that failed death save until they get a long rest.
Oh my god.
And their long rest can only be performed at a sanctuary, and it takes a week. They agreed to these rules.
Whoa.
It's insane. Yeah. Yeah, they're playing Dark Souls version of D&D right now. It's kind of crazy. So
So when they all died, can that mean other people can sign up?
So if you want to experience these Dark Souls rules, they are the same rules that we're using in Paradise Vale. So
Hooray.
which does start in November. So there's already another DM who has signed up to run a game. So they're going to be posting that up soon. I've posted a game. It's already full with a waitlist, but my goal is to probably run those on Saturday or Sunday mornings. So that'll probably be different people you can play with than you're normally used to, and won't conflict with Schultz. So if you really want to go nuts with Dungeons and Dragons, that'll be an opportunity for that. And we've got Extra Life coming up in November. 24 hours of D&D. I'm only doing the one marathon this year. I tried to encourage other people to run marathons. I don't know if anybody actually decided to do it. If you want to do your own Extra Life, just video game marathon, hey, I'm playing the new WoW expansion for 24 hours. That counts. You could do that. And if you sign up for your own account, you could join our team, and then you could earn like T-shirts and stickers and pins and stuff like that, and I'll send them to you for raising certain amounts of money as like an incentive for fundraising for Extra Life. So that's all the announcements that I have. Anybody have their own announcements they'd like to make?
Quick question. At some point, I need to get a character sheet from you from doing a Paradise Vale whenever it's.
Oh yeah. I could get that taken care of tomorrow. So
How to make creepy.
all right, cool. In this game, you guys have the editing rights to make as many fucking character sheets as you want, which is kind of cool. So anytime you want to make a character in here, you can. And then if you check your character sheet, you'll see a big letter B now. All you have to do with that letter B is like click it, and then you copy paste the link to a D&D Beyond character, hit import, and it magically turns the D&D Beyond character into a Foundry character instantly. It's kind of crazy. So it doesn't really help us out too much because we have all custom-y stuff or whatever, and you're already on the path. But I thought it was a cool feature. So all right, I'm gonna get some sleep. If you need me for things, just at me on the Discord. All right.
Get some sleep, man.
All right,
Yeah.
night everybody.
Night.
We're gonna get to kill your mom, Hypatia.
No, her
I
aunt.
need to know if Crash has met my parents, because it's possible.
With the green eyes and the rattlesnake, there's definitely implication, but could just be a red herring.
I mean, I don't